Alright everyone, welcome to another very geek video. Today we're going to be starting a series based on a lot of feedback I've received from some of the people I know that they like my stuff and they like watching my videos and hearing it, but they don't understand a lot of it because I go in depth with Dragon Ball. So a thing I wanted to do, and maybe an idea going forward, is basically a geek's guide to Dragon Ball. Now how the way I'm going to do it is, for today's episode I'm just going to start with the general watching principles, and then after that I'm probably going to do another episode after that, considering it's going to have all the connective tissue. Like, I'm going to go in depth on the original Dragon Ball and then Dragon Ball Z and then, and so on and so forth. So for this episode, I'm just going to go over the topic of the viewing order / viewing list of Dragon Ball and what is canon, filler, and gatekeeping, essentially. Alright, so the order that this should go through is that Dragon Ball has about 4 main series that have been released. So the original is Dragon Ball, then you have Dragon Ball Z, then you have Dragon Ball GT, then you have Dragon Ball Super. Now, this is where we're going to talk about the canon and filler stuff. Canon in anime means basically whatever the original mangaka or author or whatever wrote in the original comic, and that's in the source material. So if in the anime for example, in Dragon Ball Z, there's an episode of Goku and Piccolo learning how to drive. That's not in the manga, or so that's not considered canon because it's not an original source material thing. And whatever it's not original source material is called filler. Filler is basically what I just said, is anything that doesn't have to do with the main source material and storyline made by the original author. So in Dragon Ball's case, the viewing order is Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, then Dragon Ball Super. Now you're thinking, well, what about GT? But GT isn't canon. GT wasn't. There is some designs and maybe some story choices by Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, but he did not write a manga or write the entire story for Dragon Ball GT. It just was considered, it was made by Toei with some designs and stuff from Toriyama, but that's about the extent that he had with the GT franchise. So GT is filler. It's not Super Saiyan 4, Gogeta and all that. All of that is filler in GT. However, it's still a series, and if you watch it, there's no shame if you like it or not, whatever. Most people are in the consensus that they don't like it, but they like some stuff about it. Now, the reason I do this video is because I want to acknowledge the gatekeeping thing. Now, gatekeeping is basically the namesake of the word is basically if you're a new fan of something because of let's say a movie or something, hardcore fans would usually gatekeep and basically but push you off to the side or make you not feel like a true fan. For example, Marvel has a lot of that, where a lot of people became Marvel fans through the films, and which isn't a bad thing. For me personally, I got more invested in Captain America, Iron Man, Guardians, whatever. All of that idea of gatekeeping because you're not a hardcore comic book nerd or whatever, you didn't read all the source material, all thousands of pages, is ridiculous. So I wanted to avoid that with my community that I'm building. The variants, I might call it, it's whatever. Variants I do like though. I do like that. But with my community, I don't want it to be gatekeeped or just in general have a blight on anyone new that comes in. So I want to make it feel more at home. So that's another reason why I want to start do this series moving forward, is because gatekeeping is a huge problem, and I don't think I'm better than anyone else. I know a lot about Dragon Ball, but if someone that doesn't know about it wants to know about it and learn about it, that's exactly why I'm doing this series moving forward. So canon is made from the official source material, from the official author. Not filler is non-canon pretty much, and anything that isn't made by or was in the source material. And then the 3 series that you have to watch in order to get Dragon Ball with full canon is Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super. Now, I almost forgot, there is a thing called Dragon Ball Z Kai. Now, that one's a little confusing because people would say, oh, what's the Kai mean, or what's Dragon Ball Z, and what's the difference between both of them. I believe when it originally aired, Dragon Ball Z was still going in the manga, so they had to probably wait a couple times and make filler content and make, you know, like I said, like the driving episode or something, or like the Garlic Jr. saga. So there are points in the Dragon Ball Z story where it had nothing to do with the main canon story. So what happened was, after GT and everything in like the late 2000s, they decided, oh, let's make Dragon Ball Z Kai. Now Kai is Dragon Ball Z, however, is Dragon Ball Z with no filler, better art, cleaner art, and the animation is about the same. Everything's just picked up and cleaner essentially. But Kai is just the shorter, more concise version of Dragon Ball Z. Comparatively, Dragon Ball Z has 290 something episodes, I believe, total. Dragon Ball Z Kai has around maybe 100, or at least less than half of the original Dragon Ball Z. So between the two, which one I would suggest? I would suggest probably watching Kai. If it has an English voice acting that's better than the original. It has the original Japanese soundtrack, and if you prefer the original music from Dragon Ball Z, that's fine too. But Dragon Ball Z Kai is my pick if you want to watch something kind of quick, concise, and straight to the point with all the story. So this is going to be a new series going forward. I will also cover different topics along the way, probably like, you know, what is a Super Saiyan, a Grade A, you know, certain power scaling, things like that maybe people aren't too like aware of. So remember, the 3 series, well, 4 I guess, the 4 series that you should watch in order to get the full gist of Dragon Ball Z Kai in my opinion, or Dragon Ball Z. These two are interchangeable, depends on the experience you want. And then Dragon Ball Super, and then GT if you want to just watch something, you know, on the side. Alright guys, so thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new here. Make sure you guys share the video out if you enjoyed. All my social media links will be down in the description below, like my Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, and I hope you guys have a great night. Bye guys.